Hi, my name is Elizabeth Hooper. I am a special ed and general ed trained teacher, and I've been doing advocacy and executive functioning work for the last 8 years. Executive functioning is an umbrella term that talks about planning and organizing and executing to meet goals. Just to food for thought, encourage you to be patient with your kids because that executive functioning part of your brain doesn't fully develop until kids are about 25 years old. And these days with e-learning, I am really seeing that those skills of independence and using resources and starting and completing tasks are really being taxed. So I'm hoping to give you a few quick tips of how to work on initiating and sustaining attention and then using resources to help move that along. So to help with initiating, you might want to encourage your kid to start with easier work, to just kind of ease into the task. You might consider doing parallel work alongside them. And so again, to help them get started and then problem solve for what might be difficult or challenging or too long or too confusing or too difficult to do. And then also you might want to embed in this idea of, once you get your work done, what would be something rewarding that you could do at the end of it? Kind of an if-then idea. So some students have a hard time starting work. Some students have a hard time continuing to do work. Well, and some students have a hard time doing both. So for students who have a hard time sustaining that effort and attention, so some quick tips are, again, that work break idea, but that break being not rewards, not something to serve to avoid the task, but something to help you get your brain and your body ready to work. Some students, they find jumping jacks are helpful. Crunchy snack is very organizing and alerting. So just different tasks, but again, with the orientation of this is not a reward, you're not done yet, but how to get your body to go back to doing the work in your brain. Also to help to get your brain to work with you for more creative processes like writing a paper. Starting with the harder tasks and then letting it go and moving on to easier tasks allows the brain to keep thinking about those harder questions while you're still getting other work done. So again, start on the paper. When you hit a roadblock, move on to something that's easier, and then meanwhile your brain will keep thinking about it and those ideas will pop out. And then at this time, you want to help guide your student, or pardon me, your child to using effective resources that help them move forward with efficiency and effectiveness. So one of the best ways to be able to do this is if you have an opportunity to watch and note what's working and what's not working. So, what about the setting? They're sitting in the middle of the living room and it's too loud. What about the activity? Boy, when it's, if I just say their answers, it's great, but if I have to write it down, that's where it really becomes hard. Time of day, diet, sleep, medication. So what are the variables that when you're looking at what's working and not working, then you're able to dive into why something is working and not working, and then you can steer your kid to more align with what works and doesn't work for them and anticipate the stuff that doesn't work for them. And then you use those observations to help point your child to effective resources. I see a lot of students, their first thing is just do a Google search. I highly suggest you encourage your kid to take a second, use the teacher's resources, because typically those teacher's resources should be lined up more with the kind of work that they're doing and what they're expected to demonstrate. So for instance, going on Google Classroom and finding the notes and encouraging your student to have those notes out front, right next to them while they're doing their work, so that it's much more efficient and effective, and there's less looking to the heavens for answers and more looking at resources to keep moving forward. Thank you very much. I hope you found this helpful.